I've been living a more simple, minimal life for over 10 years now, and something that I found is that yes, minimalism can help you to save money, it can help you make your home a nicer place to live in, but something else that it can do is save you a lot of time, and that is one of my favorite things about it because time is very valuable, we can never get it back. And so I like to be quite intentional about how I spend my time and which things I just find not to be worth it. So today I want to share with you 10 things I don't buy, do, or own to save time. And these are things that really save me hours and hours every week. So let's get started. Welcome back everyone, and if you're new here, this is a place where you can get tips and inspiration for living a simpler, happier, and calmer life with less stuff, so feel free to hit subscribe if you haven't already and follow along. And today's video is kindly sponsored by Lingoda. Lingoda is an online language school with small group classes that are hosted by native speakers, and they offer courses for English, German, French, and Spanish. As you may know about me, I love learning languages, and I can quite easily have conversations in Japanese now, of course also English and Dutch. And since a few months ago, I am also learning Spanish. I had been learning Spanish with an app, but when we were in Spain, it was quite hard for me to have conversations and feel confident in my speaking skills with people because learning with an app didn't really give me opportunities to actually practice having conversations in real life. So I've been taking Lingoda's small group classes with an experienced teacher and usually around 3 to 4 other students, and I'm already noticing a big improvement. Speaking up in class was a little bit scary for me in the beginning, but the teachers are very helpful and they really encourage you to actually speak. So I'm starting to feel a lot more confident now. Gracias. ¿Y cómo se dice en español de clase? So instead of learning random sentences that I don't think I will ever use, like ella tiene dos faldas largas, I am now actually learning to speak the language like a native speaker. And the lessons also include idioms and cultural teachings, so it's a lot more interesting. You can choose classes for anything from beginner to advanced, and you can sign up for them individually, which is really important to me because it makes it so flexible. You can just choose a class based on your schedule. If you're also interested in learning a language, I highly recommend checking them out. You can get a 7-day free trial where you can try 3 group lessons completely for free. Everything is in the description box, feel free to check it out, and my link also will give you a 30% discount on your first payment if you want to continue after your trial. Gracias a Lingoda por apoyar mi canal y ayudarme con mi español. So the third thing that I basically completely stopped buying, and this is something I've been doing for years and years now, is excess decor items, knickknacks, basically other words for dust gatherers. I don't know about you, but cleaning is not necessarily a hobby of mine. I don't want to do it any more than is necessary. I do enjoy living in a clean space and having my surfaces be, free of visual clutter. And especially dusting is something that I really don't like. So if there is anything that I can do to make that whole process much easier and quicker, then I will most likely do it. The problem with these decor items is that they are usually quite inexpensive or affordable. They're very cute to look at and it makes you want to bring them home. I used to be like that too. I used to have tons of decor items here, but what I found after a while is that it just makes the cleaning part so much harder and so much more time consuming. And another thing that knickknacks and decor items really do is clutter up, like visually clutter up your surfaces, and that is something that can be quite tiring to the eye. So what you could do is just choose 1 or 2 or 3 of your absolute favorites, the things that still make you happy when you look at them, the things that really make you not mind so much having to clean them, and just display them in your home in like a central place where you can really see it, but keep all of the rest of the decor items to a minimum. Number 2 is backlog items. This is what I mean by things you buy that you want to do specifically for entertainment, but it can basically be about anything that you don't really want to do right now. So this can be shows that you're putting on your Netflix watch list. This can be books that you're buying that you don't have time to read right now. It can be video games that you want to play sometime later when you still have a lot of games that you're playing now. The problem with these backlog items I found is that they end up taking a lot of extra time and energy because you're always thinking about all the things that you still want to do. It can be a little bit stressful even. So I like to be minimalist in this regard as well and only buy a new book or a new video game or watch a new show when I've finished with the old one. Of course, there can be exceptions. Sometimes you might want to stock up on certain things because they're on sale, or maybe you want to go to the library and bring home like 2 or 3 books all at once. That's completely fine. I do those things too, but try and be reasonable and not make your backlog too long because it's gonna save you a lot of time and energy. Next thing that I don't do for a few reasons, but mostly to save time, is subscription boxes. And by subscription boxes, I mean those things that you can sign up for that send you, for example, a few beauty supplies every month. And then every month it's like a surprise. And I get it, when I see those boxes, I start to get all tingly and excited, like, ooh, you know, a nice little package full of shiny, cool things every month. Like, who doesn't want that? Usually there's also like a value thing involved where they send you like $100 worth of stuff for $50, for example. So it makes it feel like a good deal. But in reality, I have found that everyone has quite specific needs and not all of those products are always going to apply to you. So what you're going to end up doing is either try them out anyway because it's a waste not to, and you're going to waste a lot of time using products or things or services that are not really useful to you. Or what you have to do is find someone else to give those things to that could work for them. So then you're spending a lot of time thinking like, oh, I have like 5 or 6 new things this month, maybe 2 I can use, maybe the other 4 I can either try out myself or I can give them away to my sister or my neighbor or something, and it just costs you all this time figuring out all that stuff. When in reality, probably if you didn't have that box, you wouldn't really miss it. There's not going to be any products in there that you would actually go out to the store to buy because they are a necessity for you. Number 4, and this is a huge one that I stopped doing basically when we moved in here and I had to do all of the housekeeping myself or with my boyfriend, and that is high maintenance items. I'm talking clothing items that need to be dry cleaned, even things that need to be ironed. I am counting as a high maintenance item. I don't have anything that needs to be ironed. We are moving in 4 weeks and I don't plan to take my ironing board and my iron with me. I'm thinking of decluttering those because we don't really use them. In my opinion, life is too short for clothing items that wrinkle every time you sit down and then you have to iron them again, or things that can only be hand washed and then you're hanging them up and they're like dripping wet and it's all that fuss. I really don't care for it, and that is something that I really just decluttered from my life in general. So whenever I'm buying new, I always look up first like how to take care of this. Is this a lot of work? And is that going to be worth it for me? And if it is going to be a lot of work, usually the answer is no. And this is a personal thing, but I even find that to be more important than quality sometimes. For example, we have a new coffee table. We've had it for around 2 years and it's made of solid wood. It is a beautiful table. I'm very happy with it, but it is higher maintenance and you have to actually take care of a table like that. You don't want to get anyone spilling their tea on it or something like that, and it adds stress to my life. Now I have a table to worry about. Whereas if I just bought a cheap IKEA table, I wouldn't have to stress about it so much. So there's of course a balance there. You do want to go for high quality that can last you a long time, but at the same time I don't want to go so high quality and so high maintenance that it just stops being worth it for me. The next thing I don't do or spend any money or time on is gym memberships. And I know that this is very personal. Some people love going to the gym, or they need like specific machines or group lessons or something, and that is fine. For me personally, I much prefer exercising at home, mostly because of how much time it saves me. I don't have to commute to and from the gym, and I am someone, if I have to go to the gym to work out, I'm probably not gonna go. Whereas right now at home, all I have is a yoga mat and 2 small weights that my boyfriend and I both use. So all I have to do is take off my clothes, put on my gym clothes, exercise. That lasts for like anywhere between 20 and 45 minutes, depending on what I'm in the mood for. take a shower, and I'm done. And I love that about it. It's also free, so that is a big upside as well. The next thing that I stopped doing, which was a huge time saver, money saver, is shopping as a recreational activity. Shopping used to be something that I would just do for fun. I didn't need anything. I wasn't on the lookout for anything particular, but I just went to the stores, to the mall, and we'd go shopping with friends or with my mom or with my boyfriend. Actually, he used to love to go shopping with me. And we would do that for like a day. And now that I've stopped doing that for years and years, I actually cannot believe that it's something that I used to enjoy and found like a recreational activity, because now I've come to kind of dislike shopping, to be honest. The stores know how to get us to spend money on all these cute little things that don't really cost that much on their own, but at the end of the day, you're going home with a few shopping bags, and you might even be going home with a few $100s worth of stuff that you really didn't need, and that is such a waste, in my opinion. Something else I stopped doing for several reasons, but mostly for the time investment, is beauty treatments. So for example, what I used to do is get my nails done. I would have like fake gel nails, and while I still think that that is very pretty, and sometimes still kind of looking at old pictures and seeing my nails back then, and I'm like, oh, that looks nice. But the thing that makes me not want to do it anymore is that you have to go there every 3 to 3.5 weeks and spend like an hour there. I have to commute an hour back, so that is costing me 3 hours every like 3 to 3.5 weeks, on top of the money, of course. And that's just too much of an investment for me. It's not worth it anymore. And there are many things that you can do, especially things that you have to maintain, like fake lashes or get your hair dyed. Right now, if I go to the hair salon, I just get it trimmed and I'm out of the door in like 20 minutes. Back when I was still dyeing my hair, it took like 3 hours just going to the hair salon, sometimes even more. So those are little hours here and there that you really can't get back, and most of us don't really do these things because we enjoy them. I will say the only thing that I do still do is get a pedicure once every 8 weeks, and that is because I walk a lot, and so I want to just take good care of my feet. Those pedicures are not really like for beauty, they're just for keeping my feet healthy and nice to walk on, basically. This next one might ruffle a few feathers, but it is phone games on your phone. I am of the opinion that our smartphone can make our life so much easier. I would never want to be without a smartphone. I love using Google Maps when I'm lost. I love staying in touch with friends and family on WhatsApp, and I love being able to look up, if a store is open or something. But other than that, I really don't want to be spending any more time on my phone than is necessary, and phone games do the opposite. And I'm saying this as someone who really enjoys playing video games. I love them. I play them on my PlayStation, usually together with my boyfriend. It's like this activity that we have together, and it's a lot of fun, and sometimes I will play The Sims. So, I love games, but when it comes to phone games, usually the quality is much poorer, and they are really designed to get us addicted to them, to get us hooked, to get that dopamine rush every time you solve a puzzle or things like that, and they are designed to keep us on our phones for as long as possible. And I think we all know that spending time on your phone is not the healthiest. It is not the best in terms of, getting the most out of your life, I would say. So phone games is just not something that I'm ever going to start, because I know that I'm gonna get hooked, and I really don't want to be spending any more time on my phone than I need to. And it's funny because I keep getting contacted lately by companies who make phone games, who want to work with me and sponsor one of my videos, and that is something that I would never ever do. And the next thing that I have minimized a lot, and I'm still kind of minimizing, that saves me a lot of time, is extra steps in my beauty routine. We all have this little routine of, for example, our makeup, like products that we think we need. And after a while, we become so used to them that we continue to buy them, we continue to use them, and we don't really think about it anymore. And I've become a bit more critical lately. Do I really need this step? Because even when you think about makeup, for example, if we can take just 1 or 2 steps out of our routine, that's going to save us a few minutes every day getting ready. It's going to save us money. So why not? For example, something that I have recently minimized out of my routine when it comes to makeup is foundation. I still use a little bit of concealer and a little bit of powder, but I stopped using the base foundation underneath. And this goes for makeup, skincare, hair care, whatever you're using. You can really try and be critical here and look at all of the steps that you're doing and really ask yourself, like, do I need that step? Do I need this step? Does it really make a difference whether or not I use it? And see if there's anything that you can minimize. And something else that in terms of the time that we save is the biggest by far. This saves me hours and hours, not weekly, but daily, compared to the average person. And that is something that I choose not to have in my life, or only have in my life very minimally, and that is social media. I'm not going to tell you to quit social media. I know it's not that easy, and I know that there are also things that a lot of people enjoy about social media, but really be intentional here. I think that is key. And I know, like, I'm an online content creator my whole life and my whole work is online. So of course I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I also have a Twitter account for Simple Happy Zen. I'm not very active on there. I only post stuff there sometimes. So I don't like go on Twitter to have a look. So I don't really spend any time on it. I am not on Instagram. I am not on TikTok. I'm not on any of that stuff. And yeah, that saves me hours and hours on a daily basis compared to the average person. And it's not just about the time, it's also about the energy that social media can cost people. It causes people to compare their life to others, and it might make them feel inadequate or maybe even depressed. And we know that the people that make these platforms use science, again, to get us to spend as much time as we can on their platform. I'm not saying never, I never say never. Again, this is my job, so maybe I should be on Instagram or I should be on TikTok, but I still made the conscious effort not to. I want to focus my energy on the things that I find to be the most valuable, and for my channel that's YouTube. I would love to know from you which of these 10 things resonated with you the most. Maybe did you get any ideas about things that you could do to help you save time or live in a more minimalist, simple way? Let me know in the comment section. I would love to read it. Also, a really big thank you to Lingoda for sponsoring the video and supporting the channel. If you want to learn a language or deepen any existing language skills, then I highly recommend doing the free trial. You can get a free trial for 7 days and you can do 3 group lessons. So you can find a link in the description box. And if you do sign up for it, maybe tell me in the comments which language you chose. As always, questions, comments, conversations down below. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next week. Bye bye. You can't see it because I moved everything out of the frame, but we are moving in 4 weeks and I am sitting here surrounded by boxes. It's already such a mess.